Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's a beautiful day out there, and let's get you caught up on everything.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's a beautiful day out there, and let's get you caught up on everything.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's a beautiful day out there, and let's get you caught up on everything.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's a beautiful day out there, and let's get you caught up on everything.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, y'all. Good morning. It's Morning with Vernon this morning. How everybody doing this morning? I just want to say hello to everybody out there. It's Friday, y'all. It is absolutely Friday. You know, it is July 10th, 33 minutes after the hour this morning. I want to say good morning to everybody that's listening to Vernon this morning. And I hope everybody is listening to Vernon this morning. Like Miss Lord, she got that happy fish fry Friday. Yay! Fish fry. Ooh, hey, Lois, you from St. Louis, Missouri, right? And you don't know what mullet is, do you? I think mullet is a fish that we just, one of them southern cuisines. I don't know y'all have mullet up in St. Louis or not. But I do know what you have up there. You got coffee. Yep. Good. Got coffee. So when y'all fry fish in St. Louis, what do y'all fry? We kind of go for mullet around here, tilapia. All the common kinds of fish. But you know what I like more than anything? Was freshwater fish. Top waters, you know. And they got a lot of bones in them, but they're good. But you know what makes it so good? Sugar. You can take them tilapia. I mean, that freshwater fish and grams and topwater and all those other kind of fish. And they call they small. You can fry them real hard. That means you can fry them and that you can fry them hard enough that you can chew up the bones as well. You won't get them caught in your throat. That is so good. Good morning, Alan. How you doing this morning? Yeah, I know Alan know what I'm talking about. But anyway, and I just tell you, that's just the way it is. All right, y'all. It is Friday already. The week went by like a bullet. It went by. Yeah, it definitely went by. I don't understand how and why, but it went by. All right, y'all. I tell you what we're gonna do. Since we are going to go ahead and start the hour off, yeah. Now, oh, Lois, I didn't know. Wait a minute, Lois. You and the Kansas girl too? Are you and the Kansas girl? They don't. What you call them from Arkansas as well? Jerry McIntosh is from Arkansas. My guest on Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's from Arkansas. Robin, which is my guest on Thursday, she's from Arkansas. And so, Lois, I didn't know you was in Arkansas. You a country girl too. So you like buffalo and tilapia. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Janice. You getting a little late this morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning? It might be though this morning. Where's Jeannie at? Jeannie usually join the conversation every morning. She sure do. She kind of let me send y'all the shout outs. So first thing this morning, okay?
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
Now read that shout y'all out, because y'all are the four people that the very first four folks that shout me out every morning. But anyhow, get your coffee and so you can have coffee with Vernon. Say good morning, Vernon. Maybe I need to name the show instead of morning with Vernon. Say good morning, Vernon. Coffee with Vernon. Somebody tried to get me to call the show Coffee with Vernon. I think it was a vendor. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, let's start. We can't go wrong when we start the show off with a prayer every morning. And that's what I want to do. I want to start the show off with a prayer. So, Dr. Gadsden, you pray for us this morning?
Father God in heaven, we thank you for this TGIF Friday. Dear God, we've come to bless you. We've come to worship you. We've come to call upon your name for the edification of your glory and for the benefit of your people. And Father God, out there somewhere is a waiting congregation. And so we thank you on this Friday as we pressed our way in prayer. And we just pray that you love on us throughout this entire day as we pray in the belovedness of Jesus, our Lord, the Christ, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. And a lot of good women. Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's move on with morning with Vernon this morning, y'all. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about this morning. Today is Wednesday, y'all. Today is Wednesday, and we're going to have on this morning Sandra Faye's Botanica. She's going to come on talking at 7:45. And at 8:30 time frame, y'all, we're going to be having the sheriff on. And we got some other stuff in between we're going to be talking about. We're going to be catching up on. We always got to get a little bit of Black history in it, but also I want to talk to Naomi a little bit about African American news that you can use, and we are going to be dealing with other news when we come back from the break and everything. We're going to do news, top headline news. We're going to get into some of the sports this morning, just a little bit of sports, so you can know what's going on over the weekend, and hopefully we're trying to motivate ourselves this morning. I tell you what, let's do that right now. Let's see, can we get a motivational piece in here to just get us motivated this morning? Do you think we can get motivated this morning? Huh? Let's get motivated.
What's stopping you? Are you too tired?
Nothing.
Didn't get enough sleep? Don't have enough energy? Don't have enough time? Is that what's stopping you right now? Don't have enough money? Is that the thing? Or is the thing that's stopping you, you?
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Telling everybody your sad and sob stories, trying to get people to show up to your pity parties and your pity parades. If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't get jealous of me. Because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on. It's go season. It's time for you to take advantage of the access and the resources that you have in your country and your community. You got a problem with your life. You got a problem with your environment. Do something about it. If you want it, go get it.
Recognize the excuses are not valid. They're conjured up, they're fabricated, they're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything is uphill that's worthwhile. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my God, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
This is your chance. This is your shot. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your place. This is your opportunity.
This is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. It's grind season, homie.
All right, y'all. I want you to get up and motivate yourself. Do what you need to do. Okay? Do what you need to do. I see that Jeannie just jumped on this morning. Good morning, Jeannie.
Jeannie, read my lips, honey. Vernon is the one. Now go run and tell that.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all go run and tell that this morning, okay? Speaking of telling y'all, today is the weekend. It's the weekend. Yeah, it is the weekend, y'all. You know what Robert Hill used to always tell us. He said, if you know Vern, he call you Doc. The weekend and Pensacola is made for each other. So that's what we're talking about. So what we gonna have for the weather today? Let's Cheryl, what going on the weather on this beautiful Friday this morning? Tell me what's happening. I haven't been outside just yet.
Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. We're in for another hot and humid week across the Gulf Coast. And we wrap up the week on Friday with highs near 92 degrees, overnight lows around 80, and a 40% chance of rain. Overall, expect hot afternoons, warm nights, and daily opportunities for passing showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast on WBQP TV.
All right, Cheryl, thank you for that daily weather report. You're going to have a little bit deeper weather report after we take our first break this morning. But now my girl Lola, what's happening in the traffic around Pensacola, sugar? Can you tell me? Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Here's your WBQP traffic report for this Friday. Traffic is moving well across most of the Pensacola area as we head into the weekend. But drivers should expect the usual increase in volume during the morning commute. Interstate 10 is seeing moderate traffic between Pine Forest Road, Davis Highway, and the I-110 interchange. Slowdowns are typical during peak travel times, so allow a few extra minutes if you're heading downtown. Highway 29, 9 Mile Road, Mobile Highway, and Davis Highway are experiencing normal Friday traffic, with heavier congestion near major shopping centers, schools, and busy intersections. Exercise caution in active construction zones and watch for changing traffic patterns. If you're traveling toward Gulf Breeze or Pensacola Beach, Highway 98 and the Pensacola Bay Bridge remain in good shape this morning. However, beach-bound traffic is expected to increase steadily throughout the day as residents and visitors kick off their weekend. Downtown Pensacola is busy with commuters, delivery vehicles, and pedestrians around Palafox Street, Garden Street, and Government Street. Stay alert and watch for cyclists in the downtown area. Today's weather calls for hot, humid conditions with the possibility of scattered afternoon thunderstorms. If you encounter rain, reduce your speed, increase your following distance, and keep your headlights on for better visibility. Remember to buckle up, put the phone away, and make safety your first priority every time you get behind the wheel. This is Lola reporting for WBQP TV and WBQP Radio Traffic Report. Have a safe and wonderful Friday.
Thank you, Lola. Sugar, appreciate it. Y'all take note of that traffic out there because, traffic in Pensacola been nightmares, increasing, particularly if you're going across the Chapel James Bridge over the Gulf Bridge over to the beach, y'all. And, we coming up on the Blue Angel weekend is, I don't know whether this weekend, next weekend, but I want to talk about it a little bit later on, but traffic is so bad. Now they're increasing telling people they can take the ferry over. Okay, the ferry or the trolley. And we got a ferry going over, I believe, to the beach, and then we got trolleys. And I believe the trolley is the one that's going to be free, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And so as you move around the city today, be careful because you got certain traffic areas. We heard from, I hadn't heard from my side piece this morning. She always been trying to encourage me to, do the lottery thing every day because her wants me to win. So if you hadn't, get your tickets out and write these numbers down because I know my side piece will be calling in a few minutes, telling us what the numbers are in the for the lottery. So you know how it goes, baby. I know she'll be saying.
It's Friday, Vernon.
What?
Don't forget to play the lotto this weekend. Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
All right, those numbers, check the numbers from last night and also Wednesday night numbers and everything. And if you're gonna play responsibly now, okay? If you're gonna play, don't put your house payment in the lottery. And I know a lot of folks go to casinos and or they go up to Atmo or they go over to Mississippi. But I got a cousin. He's lucky as hell. He's either lucky, he's either good luck, or he's just a liar. Every week he tell me how much he wins. How can he? But he won a car. He won a car up there, and then he wins. But anyhow, good luck, cause y'all. My luck is not all that great in the casino and the lottery stuff. I just got my side piece stringing right along with me because she's thinking that one day I might hit the lottery. I did hit the lottery when I found her. That's the only lottery that I need, y'all. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what's happening. Since my sports reporter, Mr. Orion, he wanted to get his little 2 cents in because he said, "You make me do a weekly report
FIFA World
on the news." He wanted to do a report, so I'm going to let him go ahead and do his weekly sports report this morning. Where we got him in, okay? All right, Orion.
Good morning, Vernon.
Right?
I'm Orion, and welcome to the WBQP Sports Report. Here's what's happening in sports this week. The sports world continues to focus on the 2026 FIFA World Cup as the tournament moves into the knockout stage. The round of 16 is underway, with powerhouse nations battling for a place in the quarterfinals. The United States is set for a high-stakes matchup against Belgium, while Brazil, England, France, Argentina, Spain, and Portugal continue their quest for the World Cup title. Over in London, Wimbledon is heating up as the tournament reaches the quarterfinals. Tennis fans are watching Novak Djokovic continue his pursuit of another Grand Slam championship, while Naomi Osaka delivered one of the tournament's biggest upsets by defeating top-seeded Aryna Sabalenka to advance. Defending champion Jannik Sinner and Coco Gauff remain among the players to watch this week. On the baseball diamond, Major League Baseball enters an important stretch before next week's All-Star festivities. Teams across both leagues are looking to build momentum as the race for division titles continues through the summer. In the WNBA, the regular season continues with several key matchups after the New York Liberty captured the 2026 Commissioner's Cup Championship. Teams are now turning their attention back to the race for playoff positioning. Locally, Pensacola sports fans can continue supporting the Pensacola Blue Wahoos as they battle through the minor league baseball season. The Pensacola Ice Flyers continue preparing for the upcoming hockey season, while the UWF Argonauts are gearing up for fall sports and football camp later this summer. And finally, this is also a busy week for motorsports, cycling, and golf, with the Tour de France continuing across France and racing fans following another exciting weekend of competition. That's your WBQP Sports Report for the week of July 6th. I'm Orion. Thank you for watching WBQP TV, the voice of the Black community. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on WBQP Sports. Over to you, Vernon.
Okay, Orion, thank you, Bub. That's the sport report for the week. I know we're hosting the World Cup in the United States, and people coming from all over the country. But you know what, y'all, in some of the stuff, because he do a weekly report, some of it can come and gone, but we're talking about the World Cup and the matchup. You remember the story we put last week? Donald Trump, everything he touches, okay, turn from sugar to shanola, okay, sugar to crap, everything he touches. Now, he the one that tried to, the American team was doing pretty damn good, y'all. Think about this. The American team was doing pretty good. Then he had to interfere with it in the FIFA Cup to try to get that man that got the red card. And then they ended up losing 1-4. Okay. When we had, you remember when at the Madison Square Garden, when the Knicks was on a roll, they hadn't lost until Donald Trump showed his ass up there. Then they lost. You know that airplane he got, we're going to talk about this in the news, from Qatar. He flew in his first trip, he flew in his aircraft over to the NATO summit. It broke right now, okay? So he had to take another airplane to other things. It's amazing. Everything he touches, casinos. How can you run out of money in a casino? He broke a casino, okay? If you think about it, before he got involved with the Jersey Shore up there, where Atlantic City was the East Coast Las Vegas. He went through there. Look at it now, okay? Because he touched it. He had an airline. He touched it. All that doing good until he got involved. He touched it. America was doing good until he touched it. That man's a jinx, okay? He's an absolute jinx. When the hell we get him out of there? A damn jinx. Okay, let me move on for my Trump syndrome. And I got one more report from my girl Naomi this morning. Naomi, she has a report on African what's going on in African American news. This is kind of like a weekly report, but I'm going to talk about more specific when we get into the news. When we get into the news story this morning. So Naomi, you got something for me this morning?
This is
sugar.
Naomi. Here are the top stories this week impacting the African American community across America. The African American community is watching a top story affecting voting rights. as voting rights battles intensify nationwide. Voting rights remain one of the most significant issues affecting Black America. The NAACP and civil rights organizations continue challenging congressional maps in several southern states, arguing that recent court decisions weaken Black voter representation. The organization also issued a Juneteenth call to action urging communities to protect voting access and political power ahead of the 2026 elections. On a brighter note, Juneteenth celebrations drew record participation. Millions of Americans participated in Juneteenth celebrations across the nation this past week. Events highlighted African American history, culture, entrepreneurship, and civic engagement. Community leaders used the holiday to emphasize economic empowerment, education, and the continuing fight for racial equality. Another issue impacting Black communities worldwide. Global reparations movement gains momentum. An international conference in Ghana brought together leaders from more than 80 countries to discuss reparations for descendants of enslaved Africans. The gathering follows a landmark United Nations resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade as a crime against humanity and is viewed as a major step in advancing global reparatory justice efforts. The conversation continues as civil rights groups organize Juneteenth Week of Action. A coalition of civil rights organizations launched a nationwide Juneteenth Week of Action, focusing on voter protection, community organizing, and civic engagement. Organizers say the initiative responds to growing concerns about voting rights and representation in Black communities. The story has sparked conversations about a Mississippi family seeks answers after a police shooting. A Mississippi family is demanding answers following the death of a 1-year-old child during a police incident connected to a shoplifting investigation. The case has drawn national attention from civil rights advocates and community leaders who are calling for transparency and accountability. While that case remains under investigation, authorities are also investigating a racially motivated attack investigation in Georgia. Authorities are investigating an alleged racist attack involving a Black family gathering in Georgia. The incident has generated concern among community leaders and renewed conversations about hate crimes and racial violence. Now, for some encouraging news, HBCUs continue to see national attention. Historically Black colleges and universities remain in the spotlight as educators and community leaders encourage students to consider HBCUs amid ongoing debates over voting rights and educational equity. Several HBCUs are reporting increased interest and enrollment inquiries. Turning now to sports. In African American sports news, Major League Baseball teams across the country marked Juneteenth with African American heritage celebrations. The observances highlighted the contributions of Black athletes while also drawing attention to concerns about declining African American representation in professional baseball. The fight for equality continues, and that brings us to our next story. The NAACP announced that its 117th National Convention will be held in Chicago next month, where voting rights, economic equity, education, and criminal justice reform are expected to dominate discussions among leaders from across the country. Those are your top African American news headlines for the week of June 22, 2026. For continuing coverage of stories impacting Northwest Florida, South Alabama, and the African American community across the nation, stay tuned to WBQP TV, 12 and WBQP Radio. I'm Naomi with WBQP News. Have a blessed week. Over to you, Vernon.
Thank you, Naomi. Yes, that's Naomi talking about what's happening in Black America, y'all. Black America news. I think that since we're going to get everybody else news on, don't you think we ought to have some news of our own? I think so too. I think that we should talk about our own news stories, if you will. Okay, but we talk about our community, our story. Our voices, everybody. Okay, so that's news. Hopefully, that is news that you can use. Naomi, even though Naomi, she talked about the African American news. That was actually last week news, Naomi. What about what's going on in this world news? The news going on recently, Naomi. Can you tell me? Naomi. I guess you. Hey, Sugar.
Across Black America this week. Our top.
Say what now? You learned Afrocentric today.
Good morning, Vernon. This is Naomi with your WBQP African American News, bringing you the stories making an impact across Black America this week. Our top story: the National Urban League has declared a state of emergency for Black America in its annual State of Black America report. The organization warns that voting rights, civil rights protections, and diversity initiatives face significant challenges, while urging increased civic engagement and voter participation ahead of the 2026 elections. Meanwhile, the NAACP has announced a $20 million nationwide voter engagement campaign as the country prepares for the upcoming midterm elections. The organization says the initiative will focus on increasing voter registration, protecting ballot access, and encouraging participation in communities across the nation. As America marks its 250th anniversary, prominent civil rights leaders and community advocates are calling for renewed efforts to strengthen democracy, protect voting rights, expand educational opportunities, and promote economic equality. Their message emphasizes that the next chapter of American history should include greater opportunity for every community. In education, historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, continue expanding opportunities for students. One recent example is a new accelerated law school partnership between Grambling State University and Southern University Law Center, creating additional pathways into the legal profession. And finally, Black-owned businesses continue making headlines nationwide, with entrepreneurs and nonprofit organizations securing new contracts, expanding tourism initiatives, and creating jobs that strengthen local economies and communities. Those are this week's headlines affecting the African American community. I'm Naomi, and this has been your WBQP African American News, Black news you can use. Stay informed, stay engaged, and have a wonderful day. Over to you, Vernon.
Thank you, Naomi. Naomi, she does a weekly news report. Some of the news I'm going to talk about when we come back, specific news that's going on that affecting Black folks, y'all, is in the country. So you need to stay tuned for that. And news that affecting the headlines for today. So when we come back from the commercial break, that's what we're going to be talking about. Headline news, news that you can use here. Okay, so tell everybody, stay tuned. Morning with Vernon is on. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? That's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Tune in to the Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on WBQP TV.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Make sure you download the WBQP TV app, available on most streaming devices.
Tune in to the Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on WBQP TV.
It's Friday, Vernon. Don't forget to play the lotto this weekend. Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
We're at the Department of Good Fun looking into a buck situation.
I wouldn't call it a situation.
Wait, the bucks are games?
New Buck Scratch-Off games from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I'm prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we thank you for this TGIF Friday. Dear God, we've come to bless you. We've come to worship you. We've come to call upon your name for the edification of your glory and for the benefit of your people. And Father God, out there somewhere is a waiting congregation. And so we thank you on this Friday as we pressed our way in prayer. And we just pray that you love on us throughout this entire day as we pray in the belovedness of Jesus, our Lord, the Christ, our Savior. Amen.
WBQP TV Radio wants you to be prepared for the hurricane season.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekend weather forecast. It's another warm and humid weekend ahead, with daily chances for scattered showers across the Gulf Coast. Friday brings partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of rain. High temperatures will reach 90 degrees with a warm overnight low of 79. On Saturday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, along with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will top out at 89 degrees with a low of 78. Sunday keeps the same pattern going, with partly cloudy skies and a 40% chance of showers. Expect a high of 90 degrees and an overnight low of 75. And looking ahead to your Monday morning commute, temperatures will begin in the upper 70s and rain chances increase to 80%. Afternoon highs will reach around 85 degrees. Overall, expect hot, humid conditions with chances of scattered showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekend weather forecast for WBQP TV. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Morning with Vernon. If you got your coffee, I'm almost about finished with mine. Yeah, you know what? Y'all remember the days that your parents didn't let you drink coffee, and they tell you. My parents said, "Wait, coffee turn you black," and I said, "Mama, last time I checked, I was already black. Get out of here, boy." But she did, though. But they did let us drink whatever we had left. I remember we didn't have. I remember. She used to make coffee, y'all, in these tin. It's this little tin coffee pot, right? And it had this little basket that you put you put your coffee grinds in the basket there, right? And then they'll serve up the coffee. And they had back then them days you had coffee cups and saucers and so when the coffee got too hot, we used to pour the coffee in the saucer and drank the coffee from the saucer. I used to think that was the way to drink coffee until I got grown. I went when I was a teenager, about 17, 18 years old, and I visited my sister up in Cleveland, Ohio, when they tell this story in my book called The Boy from Burnt Corn. And so we went out to lunch and we ordered coffee. And man, I got my coffee and I poured it into the sauce and I grabbed, you better not do that. You better not touch that. You better not drink that coffee like that. That's exactly what I used to drink. He said, no, don't be embarrassing me in here. You don't drink coffee like that. You drink coffee from the cup. You take the cup and you drank it from the cup. I said, be hot. He said, no, you do that. So, since then I found out it wasn't polite to drink coffee from a sauce and suck on it. But anyhow, get your coffee, y'all. That's what I want to tell you about. Get your coffee. Good old country. We talk about good old country living. All right, y'all. Let's talk about some news we can use this morning. Okay, it was news. We're gonna talk about what's happening in our community right here. We're gonna talk about what's happening outside our community, over in Santa Rosa County, Okaloosa County, Baldwin County, Alabama. Then we're gonna talk about what's happening around the state of Florida, then around the United States of America, and maybe we get into international news. And then we're gonna talk also some more about specifically African American news that we're gonna talk about. Okay, all right, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it this morning, okay?
Good morning. It's Friday, the weekend, and Pensacola are made for each
other, Vernon. Before going to the beach, give us the headlines.
All righty, y'all. Well, what's headlines today, y'all? And I'm not gonna get some of these stories. I'm not gonna get into it because I get bogged down in them sometimes and take too much. I just want to give you the headlines. I have to caution you, like I always tell you. vet my stories, okay? Always vet everything I put on here because I get my news like everybody else get their news from different sources. But your sources, if you're looking at Pensacola News Journal, or you're looking at WAR TV, WKRG TV, WLA TV, PMI, whatever news source that you're looking for, get your news from different sources, CNN, MSNBC. Don't get it from Fox. I don't recommend Fox News, okay? Unless you're talking about your local Fox station, that's a different story. But if you're looking at Fox cable news, I don't recommend that. That's for them was on there faking biased news. CNN began to be the same way. But anyway, let's talk about what's happening in and around our community. We reported just recently they found a body over in Walton County. Now, deputy have identified that body as that missing man from Niceville. Okay, they arrested 3 people in connection with that because when they found the human remains buried on that property, it turned out after they confirmed it with DNA, they found out it was 43-year-old Jason Cohart. He had been missing from Okaloosa County since May, and so nearly a month later, they started looking for him as a missing person investigation, and they got a tip to look at some property off of Sunset Lane over in Freeport, where they found his body in a shallow grave there, and now they arrested 3 people in connection with that, and they're looking for a 38-year-old Isabel Johnson. Okay, Isabel Johnson. Her name, but look like she's a white female, Isabel Johnson. They're looking for, and that's a picture. Isabel Johnson. You see that picture? You just see that picture of that guy. That's the missing guy. That's the guy that did. But the lady right next to him is the lady they're looking for now in connection with this. Okay. All righty. Let's go to another story here, y'all. And we've talked about this story on yesterday. Okay. We talked about this story on yesterday. What is it? Escambia County, man, I tell you, he been charged with creating child pornography using AI. And what's significant about it, he's a photographer in his own right, and he take pictures of children and so forth. And so he got one of those deep fake AI programs. And so he was able to take those photographs of local children and create child pornography from it. Okay, boy, I tell you, that's why he giving AI a bad name. Okay, he giving AI a bad name. So they charged him. They have charged him with that, and so you're gonna hear a lot more about this story as it unfolded. And let me tell you, people, okay, listen to me. If you don't hear me, nothing else. Don't, please. That's a lesson to be learned when you post your children pictures and information on social media. You don't know who out there gonna do stuff with it nefariously. You don't even know what they're gonna do with your stuff. Okay, don't put that stuff out there because it usually come back to bite you. Okay, come back to bite you. Sometimes you go out there and you do things, you say things that you and crazy things. It might affect your employment one day. It might do something, but particularly if you grown. If you choose to do that for yourself, that's fine, but don't do that to your children. You need to protect your children. Do not put their information out there. You got a lot of, you're right, Janet, perverts. You got a lot of perverts. Looking at this 73-year-old man, Mark Peterson, his name. He's sitting behind jail now because he decided that he wants to create child pornography with AI. I guess you think that was, the law hadn't caught up with him yet. But they found him, and I don't know exactly how he got tipped off. He probably put it on Facebook too. You people crazy. If you're gonna, why would you go on Facebook and put your crime on Facebook? Damn. had a guy that burglarized my stuff, and he was bragging about it on Facebook and got his ass busted. Why do y'all do that? I don't know. Let's move on. Let's move on to a different story. Y'all know the information about Pensacola Children Trust Fund, okay? And you know we had little kafufu, as Judge Judy would call it, a little kafufu with that, with one of our own individuals but y'all know the Rodney Jones. I'm not gonna get into that. But anyway, the Children Trust Fund won a real financial victory now, okay? They used to have to pay what they call a TIF, a TIF tax. That TIF tax means tax increment financing. In other words, the money that they was getting from the Children Trust Fund, they had to pay the city and the county some taxes on it. But they are no longer have to do that now. And so the county and the city are freaking out because they used that, but the money they was getting from that tax from that Children Trust Fund. For an example, the city of Pensacola was using it to finance a child care access program. And so that's the money, now that's money they no longer have. They got to find it somewhere else or reduce that services. Okay. I don't know exactly how the county spent their share of that money, but in the rate, the bottom line is that they are not required now. The Children Trust Fund is not required now to no longer pay that TIF tax. If you want, they call it a TIF tax, but it's tax increment financing. Why did it come about? I don't know, but your boy Governor Ron DeSantis announced that statewide they no longer have to do that. I guess he's doing things as he going out just to tee him off, like no property taxes, because these local government depends on those kind of taxes to provide services. So I guess he creating a lot of brouhaha as much as he can as he get out of there. Okay, let's go on to our next story here. And it's always a sad story. We always have to report an accident. A man over in Santa Rosa County, over in Milton, 68-year-old man, he died in a car crash in the Yellow River over in Milton, where he failed to, it was a lack of dead end. He failed to stop. They don't know what happened. They're doing an investigation now that is located and over off of Fish Camp Road over in Milton. And according to the Florida Highway Patrol, they said that he was traveling, they said he was traveling southbound on, if you over in the Santa Rosa County, you know these roads, but he was traveling southbound on Ward Basin Road, and in his pickup, when he failed to stop at the dead end, he went into the river, and he was pronounced dead on the scene. Okay, all right. Our next conversation is, Tuesday night. This has been going on for a while. This outline field. If you don't know what an OLF8 is, it's a piece of property that over there behind Navy Federal, over there by the interstate, that used to be used as an outlet. OLF means outline field 8, where they used to use it for touch and goes for helicopters, training. That from the training over in Milton, they train helicopter pilots over in Milton, and so they used to use they got certain outline fields around the area that they use for touch and go, but they no longer use this field, and they reverted it back to the county government. County sold that property to a buyer some time ago, and so and they got to determine what they're going to do about it. So a couple of agencies involved with it. You got a planning board that's involved, and you got the county commission got involved, and all this crazy stuff. The planning board met on Tuesday, and now some people saying they regret that they voted for it and all this other kinds of stuff. But this whole 540 acres of tract that's located in Beulah there, in Beulah, there over there by the interstate. Just keep your eyes on that story, because if you don't like what is happening with that decision today, just wait. Okay, it'll change tomorrow. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on to another story here this morning. A 31-year-old man been charged in an incident for exposing himself. Lord have mercy. This 31-year-old man is allegedly was publicly exposing himself in an incident that happened over in Hope, Florida. I think Hope is over either in Santa Rosa or in Okaloosa County there. I think it's, but anyway, he was, alcohol was involved. Somebody saw him on the ground there choking his chicken, if you know what I mean. So they arrested him for choking his chicken, for exposing himself and masturbating in front of everybody and that crazy stuff. So, and then they went to arrest him, and he made matters worse. He resisted arrest with violence, and so they got him on one count of resisting arrest with violence, and 3 counts of batteries on a law enforcement officer, and 2 counts of exposing his sexual organs and disorderly intoxication, y'all. Lord have mercy, what's wrong with these people? Here's another story. A man, now here, well, what's the matter here? Did COVID-19 make us crazy? This man also has been over in Okaloosa. What's happening over there in Okaloosa County? Y'all's okay over there? Y'all didn't get enough over there? Okay, something happening over in Okaloosa County. This man, he's also accused of exposing himself. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about them as as Lois would call them. I mean, I'm sorry, Janice. Good morning, Janice. I had to take Janice would call them perverts. I'm just woo. Give me a break, y'all. Give me a break. But anyhow, let's move on. Let's move on to this story here. Now, you know what happened last weekend, okay? We had this shooting downtown, that resulted in the death of an individual that we know as PJ, high school graduate, promising athlete, and so forth. They arrested 2 people. Reported yesterday that they arrested 2 people, a man and a woman. The man had a gun, and after he did his thing with the gun, he handed it to this woman, and she covered up. But they arrested those 2 now. Like I told you yesterday, the dominoes are going to start falling now, because people are going to sing. They say sing like a canary. I say they sing like a fat woman at the opera. They're going to start singing. But now they start reviewing. I told you, you can't do nothing in this world. What people think. You got videos everywhere, cameras everywhere, okay? On the streets everywhere. And so, in cell phone videos. But anyway, they looked at some of the videos, and they saying that the video showing this man here, the one that they arrested yesterday from over, he's not even from Pensacola, he's from Alabama over there, somewhere over in Daphne or somewhere or another. They showed him arguing with the victim, okay, and so they don't know whether they don't know exactly whether he pulled the trigger or not, but they're doing the investigation. But it looked like I tell you what, looked like he's gonna be in some serious trouble, y'all. Serious trouble. I hate to tell him about that, but that's just the way it is, y'all. All right. Let's move on to a different story, if you will. Which is not a bad story, but it's not good either, in the sense that Daryl Gooden, I know y'all heard, he was a local individual, and he passed away yesterday. Why is he significant? Because he's a philanthropist, and he donated a lot of money to the University of West Florida. So he died yesterday of cancer at the age of 74. He's the man that's also is responsible for getting the University of West Florida, getting a stadium there for University of West Florida. So he's been their largest donator, and he passed on yesterday. Charles Gooden, Daryl Charles, they call him Daryl Charles Daryl Gooden, uh, passed on yesterday. Okay, Charles and I share one thing in common. We were born the same year, and we got the same birth month, but not the same birthday, but the same birth month and the same birth year and everything. See, he's also was a graduate of the University of West Florida and one of the University of West Florida biggest contributor, where he contributed millions of dollars to that organization. So, Daryl, rest in peace. All right, let's move on to another story here, y'all. This story here has to do with the economy, if you will. Jobs slowed this month. The economy is beginning to suffer. Remember, I told you everything that Donald Trump touches turned to crap. Okay, even the economy coming to crap. But sometimes there's silver lining behind dark clouds. But lower income workers now is beginning to see a little gain in increase in their wages as the wage accelerates. If you're in Florida, I think this month, I believe in Florida, even the minimum wage is going up in Florida. I'm not absolutely 100% sure, but I think it's going up in Florida and everything. If we can get the United States of America to increase the minimum wage, we were good. Did you know that the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage standard is still around $7 an hour? Is that crazy or what? $7 an hour, national minimum wage. Okay. But state in the state of Florida, it's around $14 to $15, and then I think it's increased this year. But despite all of that, these are not livable wages. Most jobs that pays above minimum wage, anywhere from $16 to $20 an hour, starting off. So I don't see why they keep playing games with our economy. Okay, people have to live. Okay, they got to live. So pay them some livable wages. That's what I say. All right, let's move on to another story that has been dominating the local headlines. Is that the issue of Baptist Hospital over there. Now, for a long time, that's been an issue of trying to remove the building over there, and now they are beginning to take down the building externally. They was inside for a long time, taking the asbestos and all the other kind of stuff inside the building, so you didn't see the presence of that. But now the whole tower is beginning to come down, and they're doing it now section by section, so that they can keep the help keep the dust down and do not irritate the folks living and around that with all of that dust, particularly if that dust sometimes going to contain some asbestos. But they say they got that under control, so that is nothing to worry about. So Baptist Hospital is as old as I am. They've been around since 1951. Okay, so they also no, not Baptist Hospital. I take that back. I don't know how long Baptist Hospital around. But I think it might be 51, but I'm not sure. But I know Penn Air been around that long as well. But anyhow, this neither here or there. But they've taken the building down over at Old Baptist Hospital. Now, what they intend to do with the property going forward is in question as to why they want to, what they want to do, build houses. The big concern now about that property is whether or not they want to gentrify, being able to gentrify that property over there. All right, let's go on to some more news. The National Aviation Museum, which happened to be located out at NAS Pensacola, they're bringing in some more exhibits there. It's more than a century exhibit. They got old airplanes, and they got this. You see this airplane, the blue airplane here? That's what it looked like in the when they use them out in the fleet. But when training purposes, they're red. Okay, they red looking airplanes. So that's the T-34. But anyway, they got a lot of activities going on with the Aviation Naval Museum. So they're bringing in more stuff like that for that. But anyhow, let me move on. Let me move on, y'all, to another story, if you will. Okay. The next story I want to talk about this morning. Let's see. I had to find my story here. Oh yeah. This is happening over in Mobile, Alabama. Yeah. And this again, where a juvenile was shot while riding in a vehicle in downtown Mobile the other day, and I think they found I had a story here somewhere or another, and I don't know where did I put it, but I think they made an arrest in that case with Mobile. So if you're looking at Channel 5, since WER don't cover a lot of the Mobile news like we do, but here in Northwest Florida, so you might want to stay tuned to WALA or WKRG to get the full gist of that story. Okay, why this guy a juvenile was shot while riding his car. All right. Also, still over in Mobile, y'all remember the Clotilla descendant? You know what that is? That was the last slave ship that slipped into America. There's a little bit of Black history going on here, y'all. That was the last slave ship after slavery was abolished that slipped into the United States through the Mobile Bay, and they had a lot of slaves in it, and they released the slaves there in around the Mobile area. They burned and sank the ship to hide the evidence, and so therefore you had a lot of Americans, Africans a lot of enslaved people gathered there from that last slave ship, the Cotilla, in Alabama. And so therefore they formed their own little town there in Mobile called Africa Town. And so they are looking for what they call their Leaf Weekend, y'all. So if you're involved with the history and stuff like that, and they always have a big celebration over in Mobile, African Town, Mobile, over there in that area. Stay tuned for that. That's a little bit of Black news. That is Black news that you can use. Okay. All right. Some more news you can use as well. I'm not gonna put the name out. I'll let you find out this. Okay. That was a Japanese restaurant among the list of other restaurants that the health department cited for 19 dead roaches during their inspection. Okay, so do your research, and they wasn't the only restaurant that was cited, but this is one of those kind of well-known Japanese restaurants. So you determine. I'll let you do your homework as well, so you can determine. You determine that, okay? All righty. Let me move on from there. An ex-Baptist hospital employee gets 7 years for molesting a teen patient, y'all. Now, Janice, what you call them? Janice said they're a pervert. Okay, Janice, I agree with you. I agree with this. I agree with this. Is it what? Y'all read about this story. I don't even want to talk about it. So sick. Okay, let's move on. Pensacola mom with a broken air conditioner and a 6, 7-year-old was blessed by the community. See, we can make a difference in our community. And that's what I tell you all the time, folks. Do good in our neighborhood. If you see somebody in need, help them. Okay? If you see an elderly person that, as hot as it is, don't have a fan or an air conditioner, help them out. Go buy them a fan or an air conditioner. These things don't cost much. In fact, you spend that more money on stuff like that than you do at the casino. Sometimes you can put your money to help buy your way into heaven. So do that, and that's what happened here. They helped this family out with because they had they did not have air conditioning. Okay, all right, let's move on. Y'all know we got the air show coming up, and we reported just yesterday and day before yesterday over the weekend. They have every day, and not only every week, but every day, the traffic flow across that Chappie Jane Bridge. And y'all make sure y'all refer to that as the Chappie Jane Bridge. It's just not only the Pensacola Bay Bridge, but it officially is the General Chappie Jane Bridge. So next time y'all go to that bay, y'all think about that. They haven't built that plaza that yet. They got a plaza they're going to put at the foot of the bridge to honor him, but they still talking about they ain't got enough money to complete it. But anyway, don't refer to that bridge just as the Pensacola Bay Bridge. We're talking about the Chappie Jane Pensacola Bay Bridge. Okay, but anyway, traffic flowing over to the beach is getting to be outrageous now. Okay, we got a new bridge and it flows, but I need you to plan for that. Okay, you need to plan for that early, if you will. Plan for it early to do that. All right. I know Mr. Ellison Bennett. He's calling in because I know he got 2 or 3 inputs to put on. Ellison, good morning. How you doing this morning, bro?
Good morning, Vernon. Listen, you have the sheriff on this morning?
What now? Yeah, we got the sheriff on.
Do you have the sheriff on your show this morning?
Yes, supposedly.
Okay, I just got a call from people that live on Duval Street in Montclair. There was shooting there at 1:00 this morning, and evidently nobody don't know about it. Being it's in the county, I thought maybe he can give you some insight.
All right. You might want to call when we get on, okay?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, y'all. That's Mr. Ellison Bennett. He's my local community news person. He's on top of it. Ellison is on top of it, y'all. That's breaking news about a shooting at 1:00 this a.m. this morning. I didn't get a chance to see that. It wasn't in my. I didn't get a chance to run my news reel this morning, so we will talk to the sheriff about that when he comes on at 8:00. But anyway, let me move on to another story. Since the air show is on, for as I know, for the Pensacola Air Show going to be on. So I need you to plan accordingly for that air show. Okay. I talked about this. I missed this. I should have put that in with my other slide that I had this morning, but we already talked about this victim here is showing for the downtown. Okay. Move the next story. This might be a good thing, y'all. Might be a good thing for you. Okay. The Florida Power and Lights, we got a refund on some hurricane charges where they it's amazing. Anyway, we had to pay for everything. We had to pay for everything, and even projected stuff. They overcharged us because it was going to be having this money ready for a hurricane fund. But bottom line is they got an $80 million refund that you're going to share among its users, and so you see a little reduction in your power bill next month. You see a little bit reduction. It ain't gonna be a whole lot now, because when you put $80 million divided by 80 million people, you might get $1 a piece on a dollar reduction into your power bill. But speaking of Florida Power and Light, for the folks that live over on the west side of town, over there over 9 Mile Road, during the 4th of July weekend, they had a power outage there. And so they were without air conditioning for a while there over there. So Florida Power and Lights trying to determine what happened over there for Pine Forest Road and over there where the money folks live over there. So they're to determine that so that won't happen again. Okay. All right. And we move on to a different story here this morning. I was talking to you very early on about the traffic flow and going to the beach. They're going to have a free trolley service over. And they also got the ferry service, but this is a free trolley service over to Pensacola Beach, in particular, and they're gearing up for the air show. So you might want to put that into your repertoire if you intend to go over there. You don't want to fight that traffic. It's more than just traffic that you're fighting over there. And I got to put the oh Lord, you know what they always say, if it ain't one thing, it's 4 or 5. We off the air, okay? Okay, but it's more than just trolley. It's more than just traffic going over and back to the beach. There's also issues with parking once you get on the beach. So you might just want to consider. You might want to just consider taking a trolley over there. Okay, so think about that as you go along here. All right, let me go on to my next story here. If I can find it here. We're talking about Florida Power and Lights and the outages and stuff like that. We got the hurricane season is coming up. Okay, hurricane season is coming up, so you got to keep that in mind. Make sure that you do your due diligence on hurricanes. Okay, make sure that you get your checklists and all of the other kinds of stuff, that you make sure that you be prepared. We talked at length about it on yesterday as well. Okay. All right. We're going to have Sonia Faze coming up here in just a few minutes. Until she comes in, I'll continue to talk more about the news. Let's get into some black news you can use over in Bay Minette, y'all. Over in Bay Minette, Alabama, they're trying to seek to block significant opinion from an expert witness on an officer-involved shooting over there. Okay, so you didn't hear a lot about this because WAR don't take they do a lot of Northwest Florida news. They don't do a heck of a lot of Mobile kind of news, but this is affecting us, so we have to be careful about that. Okay. Also, the Mobile. This is the man I was telling you about that was arrested for that shooting of that juvenile. I should have had those stories put together, but I couldn't find his story. but you need to stay tuned to WKRG or WALA, some of that WPMI, some of that Mobile news over there to be on top of. These are just headline news. Also involving county over there, they arrested a career coach over there. Okay, in Gulf Shores on sexual abuse charges again. Janet, what you call her? Perverts. Okay. Janet's real talky this morning. She said something about, and he had time, and he had the nerve to get upset at his time that they have given him more time and not safety in the hospital. Okay, I got you, Janice. I got you. But anyway, let's move on. I know a couple of weeks ago we reported two deaths up in my neck of the woods, up in Evergreen, Alabama, where two guys died. These two guys died. House. They fire marshals is investigating it that it was likely the thing was started into a camper that spread it and ended up the death of two people over there in Connecticut County. So stay tuned. Use that news over there. Also, the up in Maine, the guy had to bail out of the Senate race up there. Okay, he had to bail out of the Senate race up in Maine, and so because of his sexual allegation, and then we got another 34 count sexual abuser that coming to his defense. Trump questioned whether or not these people say falsehood. Man, I tell you, everything he touches turns away. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put a pause on the news. I might come back after we talk to Sonya Faye, talk about some African American stories that is affecting us in the news this morning. But right now, it should be 7:45, and do we have Sandra on? Sandra, you there? Miss Sonya Faye?
I am here.
Well, good morning.
Yes, I am.
This is Miss Valerie
morning,
Boyd, y'all. I call her Miss Sandra Faye, but her name is Valerie Boyd, and she's the entrepreneur of Sandra Faye's Botanica. That's a big word for herbs, okay? So, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Well, talk
Good
to me
morning,
about.
Vernon. How are you this morning?
I'm well. How you been doing?
I've been doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to know that.
Okay. So,
what
Vernon,
our product of the week?
Today we're going to talk about spirulina.
Who?
Spirulina.
Don't tell. No. I thought is that woman that left me at the altar? Spirulina. Well, have mercy.
So, let me tell you a little bit about spirulina.
Okay.
Okay, so spirulina is a blue-green algae, and it is packed with...
Oh. I know where you can find a lot of blue-green algae for free if you want it.
Where?
Okay. You go to Washington, D.C. in that pool up there.
In the reflecting pool?
That reflecting pool, they got plenty of it up there. Y'all can go out there and make it problem. Go ahead, sugar. I'm just being stupid this morning.
That was a good one, though. Okay, so spirulina, is a blue-green algae, and it is packed with vitamins and minerals. It has lots of antioxidants and protein. It has long been used as a superfood. It was used by the ancient Aztecs for nutrition, and more recently been used by NASA so that their astronauts can have nutrition. But spirulina is it has thiamine and riboflavin and niacin, copper, iron, magnesium. So it is really, really nutritious. but it has anti-cancer properties. That is one of the benefits. It improves your heart health by helping absorb excess cholesterol. It also helps relieve allergies. It helps build your immune system. It's great for your eyes and your oral health. Helps with weight loss. And it helps eliminate heavy metals. So it is just a superfood, and it is in one of our sea moss gels, the green apple sea moss gel with spirulina. So that is our best selling sea moss gel, and for good reason. It can help balance your blood pressure, your blood sugar, cholesterol, helps with pain, inflammation, helps with muscle strength and endurance, allergies, and anemia. So that's a lot for one product. But in addition to the spirulina, of course, the sea moss, you're going to get your energy, you're going to reduce pain and inflammation. You know, you're going to improve your gut health and digestion. So it is just a superfood all the way around. It improves the way you look, your hair, skin, and nails. So our sea moss is only $25. And our deal is you save $10 when you buy two because they're only two for $40, making it $20 a piece. And when you look elsewhere, you can only get one jar of sea moss for $35 to $40. So ours is a good deal. And another thing I like to say about our sea moss is we make it fresh in store every day. We do not add any type of preservatives or dyes or anything like that, which is the reason we don't ship it. But you'll always get fresh sea moss. You'll always get the lowest price and the best customer service.
You know what I like about that? The two things I like about your service.
What?
Number one, it's cheap. It's inexpensive. It ain't cheap, but inexpensive. Okay, compared to. And the second thing, it's fresh. It's just like ordering it. They hadn't sit there on the shelf for a long time. You make it when you're there. Can make it when it's there. Really fresh. So,
really fresh because we only make five of each flavor per day. Because we want the 30 days. So sea moss has a shelf life in your refrigerator of 30 days. And we want the whole 30 days to be in your refrigerator, not ours. We don't freeze our sea moss. We don't store it. You know, we make it fresh in small batches. And the other flavors that you can choose from, because you can mix and match the 2 for $40 deal. So of course, the green apple with spirulina is the best seller. The second best seller is strawberry with ashwagandha and maca. That helps with like hot flashes and painful menstrual cycles and things like that, and stress. We also have blueberry with beets and burdock. So that's going to help with your blood pressure, your heart, and has a blood purifying herb in it. And our newest flavor is peach with soursop. It tastes delicious, but we also have pineapple mango with lion's mane and ginkgo. Pineapple mango is going to help with your memory, focus, and concentration. So we have several different flavors, several different herbal infusions. No matter which one you pick, it's 2 for $40.
You know what I need?
What you need?
I need something for my memory. I can't remember. I can't remember. In all seriousness, one of my strong suits was that I had a steel trap memory. Okay, and that's what made me good because I could read stuff and I could retain it, and that's why I'm a history buff. I can remember all that stuff. But in my golden years, okay, I still can remember probably the day I was conceived and on the day I was born. But I cannot remember from one thing to my recall memory is completely gone. If you were to show up and says, and I had to introduce you, I couldn't remember your name for nothing. I couldn't remember Valerie's name for nothing. Okay. So when I get put on the spot like that, short-term memory. So I mean my instant recall stuff, but it eventually come back to me. So what can I do to help with my recall memory?
So you can start taking the sea moss that has the ginkgo biloba and the lion's mane mushroom in it. I'm telling you, it really does help. Helps grow new neurotransmitters in your brain. Lots of scientists and neurosurgeons have confirmed the research. So I would say try the pineapple mango sea moss with lion's mane and ginkgo. And another herb that can help with your memory is rosemary. So most people have some rosemary.
I remember rosemary.
Yeah, make a tea out of that rosemary.
It's working already.
Yeah, so you drink the tea, but you also inhale it. You smell the tea. You know, you put like a towel across your head so that the steam from the tea won't escape, and you inhale that smell and drink that tea. That will help your memory too.
I would love to remember rosemary. Okay.
That is such a common herb.
How to get me some rosemary. That sounds good.
Yeah. Get you some rosemary and some pineapple sea moss with lion's mane and ginkgo.
Yeah. Well, you know, the problem you told me about the sea moss, because I'm on thyroid, I might not be able to use the sea moss.
No, you cannot. If you are taking a thyroid medication, then you can't take sea moss because sea moss has it's high in iodine, and so is thyroid medication like Synthroid. So we do not suggest sea moss if you're taking thyroid medications. But if you have not started on thyroid medications and you've been told that your thyroid levels are abnormal or hyper or hypo, but you have not been put on the medicine yet, try sea moss first.
Okay, that's a good idea. But for me, I've been on it for probably 20, 30 years, so I didn't but I'm glad to know, and that's a good thing about coming to the shop, and it's almost like a consultation. You can talk to your customers about their different ailments, and then you suggest some things that they can do or not do herbally, and because the good part about herbal healing is that there's virtually no side effects, right?
Well, so some herbs can change the effects of some medicines. So we have to know which medications that you're taking so that we can make sure that nothing is affecting that medication, right?
Okay.
But other than that, making sure that we're picking the. Oh, I did want to say this too, because I noticed a lot of people come in after seeing videos on TikTok and on different, platforms, and they'll come in and try to buy whatever they saw on TikTok until we have our free consultation, and then they realize they needed something different altogether. So that's why it's important to come in for a free consultation and make sure that you actually need what you think you need. Because sometimes we have something that would do, way better than whatever it is that the customer saw on a video.
Wow. Okay. All right. So tell them where to find you, what your hours are, and all that good stuff, Miss Valerie.
Okie dokie. So Sonia Bay's Botanicals is located at 9216 Old Palafox Street. We are on the backside of Walmart on Highway 29, and our hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Our phone number is 850-824-8222. Our website is www.soniabaysbotanicals.com.
All righty then. And she's here every Friday, y'all, at 7:45-ish time frame with a product of the week or product in general. Herbal remedies is there
Yes. Oh,
for
yes.
a reason.
I did want to say, because I remember one Friday I did say that our pain relief bundle was only $50, which includes a green apple sea moss with spirulina, a pain and inflammation tea, and a magnesium oil spray that you spray directly on wherever the pain or the cramp is or the tight muscle. So that bundle is only $50. And that is pain and inflammation.
Can I testify for a second?
Come on with it.
You gave me one day I was up there, and I told you my wife always suffered from cramps, right?
Yeah.
And you gave me some spray. You said, "Here, take this to your wife, and whenever she relieve that cramp, spray it on there. It works. It works." I had and the reason I know it worked, I got a cramp one day. I don't usually be suffering from cramps at all, but I got a cramp in my foot, and so I had to spray that stuff on, and it relieved it.
Yes, absolutely. Quickly too. Yeah, it relieves it quickly within probably like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it does. So it works, y'all. So go out and see Miss Valerie up at Sonja Faye's Botanical, y'all, located on Old Palafox. If you know what, if it's right behind that old big old Walmart, but it's on Palafox, right down the street from 9 Mile, and you on Palafox and on the corner of 9 Mile Road and Palafox, going back south, if you will, but it's only a couple of blocks off of Palafox, if you will. So the address again is?
The address is 9216 Old Palafox Street. It's in a tan strip mall, a small little tan strip mall, and we are right next door to Motreat's Bakery.
Absolutely. All right, Valerie, anything else you want to share this morning?
I think that'll be it.
All right, then we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Okay, thank you, Vernon.
Thank you now. All right, y'all. This is Miss Valerie Boyd of Sonja Faye's Botanical, y'all. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we come back, I want to try to finish up that news, some black news we're going to be talking about in an 8:30 time frame. Hope we're going to be talking to Montgomery County Sheriff Chip Morgan. Chip Morgan. Ooh, Lord, he going to get me. Chip Simmons, y'all. See, spirulina. I got to get me spirulina, and what the other one she said for my memory, Miss Hazel something. See, I need it already. I forgot
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Day or night, your loved ones show up for you. At HCA Florida Healthcare, we do too. Because you're the center of our family, Florida's largest healthcare family. And you'll feel it in everything we do. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I'm prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
We're at the Department of Good Fun looking into a buck situation.
I wouldn't call it a situation.
Wait, the bucks are games?
New Buck Scratch Off games from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we thank you for this TGIF Friday. Dear God, we've come to bless you. We've come to worship you. We've come to call upon your name for the edification of your glory and for the benefit of your people. And Father God, out there somewhere is a waiting congregation. And so we thank you on this Friday as we press our way in prayer. And we just pray that you love on us throughout this entire day as we pray in the belovedness of Jesus, our Lord, the Christ, our Savior. Amen.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekend weather forecast. It's another warm and humid weekend ahead, with daily chances for scattered showers across the Gulf Coast. Friday brings partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of rain. High temperatures will reach 90 degrees with a warm overnight low of 79. On Saturday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, along with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will top out at 89 degrees with a low of 78. Sunday keeps the same pattern going, with partly cloudy skies and a 40% chance of showers. Expect a high of 90 degrees and an overnight low of 75. And looking ahead to your Monday morning commute, temperatures will begin in the upper 70s and rain chances increase to 80%. Afternoon highs will reach around 85 degrees. Overall, expect hot, humid conditions with chances of scattered showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekend weather forecast for WBQP TV. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
WBQP TV radio wants you to be. Be prepared for the hurricane season.
Thank God it's Friday! Prepare for the weekend with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all. All right, we back. I want a couple of headlines that I did not finish that I want to talk about before the sheriff comes on today. I know y'all heard about this story, kind of a sad little story here. This baby was found dead. Was mistaken for dead. They took the baby, the child had drowned. They thought the child had drowned in the pool, and they took him to the hospital, and the doctor pronounced the baby dead. And even though the nurses kept saying, "We think we got a pulse there," he said, "No, the child is dead." And so, and he wiped his hand of it, if you will. And then they took the baby down to the morgue at the hospital, to the morgue. And when the recovery people got there, they heard the baby gasp. Okay. And then the nurse came down. She said, "I got a pulse." And all at the same time, they was up there meeting with the parents, explaining the death of the child. So it's a miracle, y'all. It absolutely is a miracle, the story. You hadn't heard about that story. And a lot of other stories, too, around the country where people are pronounced dead and not necessarily dead. I heard of a story about a car accident. A person was actually conscious, but they couldn't respond, and where the people on the scene had pronounced him dead. Okay, pronounced him dead. And but he couldn't speak, but he finally, but he was finally be able to make his presence known by wiggling his toes. Something I can't remember what he done here. But anyhow, this is in some black news, y'all. Sean Peter Combs' daughter, they launching a new fashion line as their father sits in jail serving time. This is black news that you can use, y'all. These are just headline stuff that you want to read about. Another story here that you might want to read about too is this church. The former church treasurer is accusing of stealing more than $400,000 from the congregation over a long period of time. This not happened here in Pensacola, but it did happen across the country. Now, Charlie Kirk. He's have not really been a great friend of the black community, but they're helping his trial. And there are people, they were holding this trial with this guy. I can't think of this guy's name, that accused of shooting Charlie Kirk. They were trying to keep some information out, and they had his boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever you want to call him, not Charlie Kirk, but the man that accused of shooting Charlie Kirk. They had him to testify on yesterday regarding this guy's fate, and he had left a message under the keyboard and stuff like that. But anyhow, that's another story I didn't get to. Now, here's the one I want to make sure that y'all hear about, because you got to make sure that you find out what your children are doing, because they got online networks that coercing children to do self-harm. Okay, so please be aware of that. The FBI looking at that right. They're looking at that right now. Okay, moving on. But this is a story worth looking into. Okay, all right. Now, this man here, and this is again news that affecting black community. This man by the name of Representative John McGuire. The birthright citizenship thing that the Supreme Court passed, saying there's legal birthright citizen. You're born in the United States. You're a citizen of the United States of America. Barely barely passed by the Supreme Court. Now, the Trump administration, now the only way you can get around the Supreme Court decision is create a new law. You remember we got both have 3-tier system here. Congress create laws, okay? With the judicial branch create laws, the executive branch execute laws, and then the judicial branch interpret the law to see whether or not that law is legal or illegal. Okay, so the executive order that it was trying to execute, even though Trump, he can't make law of the land. Only Congress can make law of the land, but he can create executive orders that affect a lot of Americans. That was, and he wanted to end birthright citizenship. So the Supreme Court shot that down. Now the only way to get around that now is pass a public law by Congress to do that. And this idiot here has introduced legislation to automatically limit citizenship for some unborn kids. Okay, stay tuned with that story because it's definitely going to affect us. Also, another story that's going to affect us is that allegation of fraud about targeting tourism and firms like that, and about passports and stuff like that that are affecting people of color coming into this community. So stay tuned for stories like that. Okay. Also, this story here, y'all, I only have to show you the video. I'm going to show you the video on this story here. It's just awful. So I got the video. I'm going to show it to you. Y'all see this video here. This man, okay, this man doing a Monaco cocktail, okay, and set an individual on fire, okay, in a wheelchair. Watch this now. I want you to see that he threw a Monaco cocktail for an individual on fire, right? Then the guy rolled up out of the fire, and then he just pushed him back into the fire. And how sick can you get? Y'all, just tell me, how sick can you get? What's happening in this country? I don't know. It's amazing. Also, Kamala Harris now, and I know you heard about the fatal shooting, ICE fatally shooting another what's called an undocumented immigrant. He's been here for 40 years, y'all. Raised his children and paid his taxes, and they saying that he used his car as a weapon. They just make up excuses, and I'm saying is to make up excuses for an opportunity to shoot and kill these immigrants. That has to stop. So Kamala Harris is speaking out on that. So that's something we definitely going to have to start talking about. All right. Another thing is affecting us in our community is that, they did away with the ECA, the Obamacare insurance. They're expecting now, if you wasn't affected, it increased this year, but next year, enrollment season, and it's going to start, I believe, in October, they're expecting double-digit increase in the ACA premiums next year. So that means a lot of people, y'all, is going to be without health insurance again. So that's why it's so important that you get down to that ballot box this November, okay, to vote. Definitely have to vote on that. All right. Lastly, but I just want to. They got a story about if you're a pet owner and you're a pet parent, you understand. I know we hear a lot about kids. It's hot summertime. Kids are leaving. Parents and individuals forgetting and leaving kids in the car, okay, in this heat. And it doesn't take but a few minutes for them to be overcome by heat. Well, in this particular case, okay, 2 K9 police dogs were left in a car for over 7 hours, and they in a hot car. And I don't know all of the details behind it, on why did he forget or what. Usually, officers, and I don't have to ask Chip about this, what the policy is, but normally when I see an officer, unless he went home and parked and just forgot the dog, I don't know. Maybe he got over consumed by something, but stay tuned to that story. But usually they leave the car running. You would think they leave the car running, and but in this case, the car was cut off. It wasn't on. Okay, the car was cut off, and these two K9 officers, succumbed to that heat, and so they're doing investigation of that right now. I don't recall. This is national. This is kind of like national news, so I don't recall exactly what state this was in. But all I know is that we want people to be careful whether you're talking about your kids or your pets. Okay, it is hot outside. It doesn't take very long. We reported on just the other day where a couple left their kid in the car. They said only be gone for a few minutes, but the heat in that car get tremendously out of hand in just those few minutes. So y'all make sure that you be forewarned and be careful about that as well. All right. Another thing I want y'all to remember, it is the weekend. Okay, like we said, the Gulf Coast and the weekend is made for one another. We want you to be careful out on the beach. If you're gonna go out there on the beach this weekend, plan your trip out to the beach. Okay, traffic gonna be heavy. There are going to be very limited parking places out on the beach, and so you're going to have to make sure that you have your patience in check as well, so you don't end up in the road rage situations. Okay, if you will, or that you don't be in traffic. But take the trolley. If you don't want to take the trolley, go ahead and maybe take the ferry, or just be very careful out there, if you will. Just be very, very careful if you're going to go out there this weekend. All right, we talked about safety. Hurricane season is coming up. You just absolutely make sure that you start preparing now for the upcoming hurricane season. Get your plan together. We ran a whole whole segment on the tips that you can use for preparing for the hurricane. It better be safe than sorry. Okay. Get your generators, get your food in line, get a plan, you get everything. All right, y'all. It is 8:30 time for 8:30 every Friday. We reserve that time for Escambia County Sheriff Department to come in with our sheriff. Chip Simmons is on this morning. Chip, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Vernon. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. Very good. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was hot, as you know. Everyone's here complaining, talking a little bit about the heat. But I had a good weekend, a good long weekend, a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. That happens whenever you have that holiday on a Saturday on a weekend. Then we'll give you that day before it. It was good. It was good. Hope yours was well.
Chip. You just missed I was talking about this just this very morning. Okay, where we're talking about the heat, and we got to be careful because not only got to be responsible for our kids, but we also got to be responsible for our for family as well in this heat. You just don't want to leave them out in the car or anything like that. This heat is nothing to play with this year.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we had a couple of cases where someone had left a dog in a parking lot when they went into a store, and the dog windows were rolled up, and people don't understand how hot it can be in one of those vehicles. Unfortunately, while it's important about animals, unfortunately, a couple years ago, we also charged an individual with I think it was negligent manslaughter at the time for I guess mistakenly leaving a child in a van. It was a daycare type of van, and that child, I want to say, or that individual passed away. So we obviously don't want to leave people that are incapacitated, elderly. We don't want to leave children in our cars. And to your point, we certainly don't want to leave our dogs or our pets in the car as well, because if it's 95 degrees outside, it's 120, 130 or higher. I think it can approach close to 200 degrees inside a vehicle in the middle of summer.
Yeah. Did you hear about that story about the two K9 officers was left in the car for over 7 hours? Did you hear about that? This is a national story, but I can't remember where it was from. But
No, I don't think so. We have thermometers in our cars that alerts our if because usually they keep the car on for obvious reasons, keep their dogs healthy, and we have alerts that will page or beep our canine officers. Hey, something's wrong with the air conditioning. Something's wrong with the car. It shut off for some reason, so they can obviously prevent that. But no, I had not heard. I'm assuming it's a tragic story about a canine.
It is. Now, you just as a general rule, y'all leave the car running, right, all the time, right?
We do when our canines are in the cars, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ellison Bennett called me this morning, Chip, and he said something happened at 1 or 2 o'clock this morning. Do you have any information on that?
We had a 16-year-old reports being shot in the doorway of his house. I don't know the time, so I'm assuming that's what it was. This was on let's see here, Deauville Way, and I'm assuming that's what Ellison's talking about. I don't have a report on the condition of the 16-year-old. Quite frankly, his story is that he got shot in the doorway of his own home, but that doesn't fit the evidence that we have found. We found shell casings in the driveway, and that's not exactly what. It doesn't fit what he's saying. So we're obviously investigating it. And again, I do not know the condition of the 16-year-old at this point.
Okay. Probably, do you know what area of town it happened in?
Yeah, it was Deauville Way, the 4500 block of Deauville Way. If that's what he's talking about, I just now got the text. I just now saw the text.
Yeah, I don't know where Deville Way is. So Ellison, it might be something affecting our community, since Ellison called me this morning about it. So I don't know. I hadn't got a chance to look at the newsreel before I get on air this morning, so I hadn't heard about it. So
yeah, again, I just got the text about an hour or so, or the email about an hour ago, and I haven't yet. As soon as I walked in, I got on the air with you, and I hadn't got a chance to get a follow up. I have my meeting, as you know. Just before 9 o'clock, I'll head to my 9 o'clock meeting, and I'll get an update, and we'll likely put something out here from the sheriff's office.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead. What else happening in Escambia County this week? And plus, we got the weekend coming up.
Yeah, well, we talked about the heat, but we also, I guess, talk about some of our busy days at the beach. We know the beginning of the spring break is always a big deal at the beach. We have the 4th of July weekend is always a big deal at the beach. They have the air show coming up. It's not this weekend, but next weekend. It's like a 3-day, Thursday practice, Friday and Saturday are the bigger air shows. And so we expect huge crowds, again, weather dependent, but we do expect huge crowds. And to your point, I heard you talking about some hurricane safety tips. I think some of those things that we talked about with the heat and just be patient and prepare is also important for if you're planning on venturing out to the Blue Angels air show. The air show usually starts like at 1 or 2 o'clock or so. The Blues will fly, and so if you're new to the area and you think you can get in your car at noon and head out to the beach to watch the Blue Angels and get a great parking space and a great vantage point to see the Blue Angels, you're 6 hours late. So you got to go. You got to go early in the morning, and you got to, as we say, pack your patience, pack your water, and understand you're going to be out there for a long time. So bring everything you need. Don't block someone else's path, and be respectful for other people and those who may have a spot on the beach before you did.
I also reported they are providing some free trolley services over there as well. So that might be a good idea to do it because, and we also reported this week that the traffic going to the beach is continually being more and more and more and heavier every week. And so to compound the problem with the limited parking places that you have on the beach. So you might want to consider taking the trolley or maybe taking the ferry or something over there if you're going to travel to the beach this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me on these numbers, but I want to say that there are more days so far that they've had, I want to say 20 or 30,000 vehicular traffic onto the beach this year than any year in the past. So they're on pace to I guess, to break records. And if you look at that compared to the number of parking spaces, you understand there's a lot more cars going through that toll area than there are parking spaces. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anyone, and that's not even counting people that are coming from the Navarre side. So understand that you're going to have to park some distance, and if you make alternative plans, the trolley will work. I'm not sure the trolley can't get through, when it's gridlocked either. So I think you got to go earlier, and if you're going to catch a trolley, I would suggest that you do that early. Do some research and find out when the trolley is going to be running, where they're going to be running from. I'm not sure about the beach trolley, whatever it's called, the beach transport the water transport that they have. So I mean, to take a look at all those things and try to make your plans early, and again, be respectful for other people as well. So, anyways, that's the Blue Angels. We're going to be busy this weekend, obviously at the beach, and then next week will be the Blue Angel Air Show, and so we're certainly preparing for for that huge weekend.
Okay. Anything else, Chip?
No, I think that we're looking at what's going on in our community. I asked them to give me a rundown of some of the crime stats, because everyone wants to know crime stats. Yeah. Everyone thinks that because they hear something, they know what's going on. And what we want to do is make sure people understand the real numbers. The numbers look pretty good for the last couple of years. We're in the middle of the year, so we don't have the 26 numbers, but if you look at 25, 24, and even 23, I only asked for a 3-year period because the COVID years were kind of a mix. People weren't out, and so crime was down, and it wasn't really a good. It's not apples to apples type of comparison. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is that over the last 3 years, we're trending in a very positive manner with amongst all of the particular crimes that we end up reporting, and we'll probably put something out here shortly about that. But it's looking good, and we credit obviously the citizens for taking it very serious. We credit the men and women of the sheriff's office for working very hard, and it's great to be the sheriff. It's great to be part of a community that supports law enforcement.
Now, Chip, speaking of that, I know you got a great workforce there. Do you still have your academy going on? Are you all on a continue recruiting basis for recruits? How did that work if one wanted to get into law enforcement officers at the sheriff department?
Right. Well, we're always advertising for cadets and deputies. We're always open. So if you, it's not one of those things where we're going to start to open the position for deputy sheriff on this month or that week.
Right. Yeah.
It's always open. If you're interested, now we'll take your application. We'll let you know the process, because oftentimes the process takes some time, and then we will let you know when our next academy starts. So we're in the middle of an academy now. We will graduate about 15 deputy sheriffs in about 2 weeks of graduation, and then they'll start the field training. So they're still several months away from being what we call solo law enforcement officer. So, but we absolutely do have our academy, and we are graduating one, as I mentioned, in a couple of weeks, and then we'll start another one that will begin and end pretty much at the end of the year, right around the holidays, probably a little after the holidays. And so our recruiting is going very well. Our training academy is going very well. We have some of the, if not the top scores in the entire state of Florida on the state certification, the state exam. So we're very proud of what we got going on. And again, I think we only have 2 vacancies right now, and that's simply because we want to wait until we get closer to the next academy to make those hires.
All right. Anything else for us this morning, Chip? I know you got to get to your meeting.
I do. Yeah, I got to get some follow up on some of the investigations that we've got going on. And again, we just want everyone to be safe. Enjoy your summer, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you. We really appreciate you for coming on every week, Chip, keeping us informed. Okay.
You bet. Y'all take care.
Okay, thank you. All right, y'all. That is Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons on every Friday at 8:30 a.m. and keeping us informed on what's happening in and around our community this morning. Okay. Now, one of the things, speaking of finding out what's happening in and around our community, one thing that we want to, my mission is to try to educate us, okay, and try to keep us in line on what's happening in Black history, okay. I have declared Black history 365 days a year. I declared African American History Year, okay, and so we want to talk about what's happening, and I want you to talk about what's happening in Black history. And we've been doing a real series with Dr. Henry Gates. I got another series called A Crash Course in Black History by another guy, but he is much longer. But Dr. Gates' Black History Moments are 2 minutes in increments, so we can. It's just like this. How can you eat an elephant? Well, how you eat an elephant, just one bite at a time, I guess. How you eat an elephant. So that's what we're going to do with Black history. We're going to give it to you one bite at a time. Okay, one bite at a time. We talked about a lot about Black history in terms of women, but one of the things that we have not talked about in terms of Black history and women, typically in theology, but Dr. Gates had a series on that, and I want to let him share his theory on Black liberation and womenism and theology on that. Okay, so here's our Black history moment for today.
The late 1960s and the 1970s saw a radical shift in Black political thought, represented in the Black Power movement, the Black Panther Party, and the Black Arts movement. In the wake of Dr. King's death, the quest for civil rights became radicalized, and the Black church was no exception.
James Cone was a leading theologian of the Black Power movement era who revolutionized the study of theology by arguing that Black liberation was at the center of what we should understand to be the preaching of the gospel.
The Reverend Dr. James Cone, a distinguished professor at Union Theological Seminary in New York, spoke out unflinchingly about race and racism, especially economic justice and the abuses of the prison system. The late 1960s marked a turning point in Cone's career when he turned to theology to amplify the voices of the Black freedom struggle and center Blackness within Christianity itself.
James Cone is arguing God is Black. He means that God is so intimately connected to the welfare of Black people that God is indistinguishable from them. This began the formation of an alternate theology for Black churches that requires a different way of thinking about power.
But for some of his Black female counterparts, they found themselves frustrated that he didn't adequately account for the ways in which Black women in the church were directly impacted by gender, by patriarchy, by sexism.
I think one of the most interesting and important aspects of African American churches is that the majority of people who are in the pews are women. The success of those institutions has rested on the labors of Black women.
They saw themselves as departing from Black liberation theology in order to take seriously the experiences of Black women.
These women are using womanist theology as a way to raise up these concerns about the lack of recognition of the power and importance of Black women in those institutions.
Jacqueline Grant, who was one of the students of James Cone, became one of the founders of womanist theology. She established the women's study of religion at Harvard University and worked in the field of Christology with a very specific focus on the experiences of Black women, and set the foundation for the field.
These righteous women of God were in pursuit of an interpretation of the Bible that reflected the realities of their existence, indeed the full range of their humanity. Interweaving a feminist worldview with Black power and the Word of God to form a womanist theology, these Black women shaped a Christianity they could truly call their own.
That's Dr. Henry Louis Gates, y'all. They're talking about Black women. But that also led to a movement, the Black feminist movement, and created a lot of Black feminist organizations that he talks about in another piece that he hears.
Were pivotal for African American women. Through the creation of seminal political and literary organizations, they created the infrastructure for the modern Black feminist movement. Black women have lived the twin realities of racism and sexism that exist at the intersection of their identities. To speak to these issues, political groups were formed like the National Black Feminist Organization, otherwise known as the NBFO.
In 1973, it was born of the concern that neither mainstream feminism nor the civil rights movement had centrally focused on the challenges facing African American women. Margaret Sloan was the leader of the National Black Feminist Organization. Future Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton was one of the founders of the organization. They, with a group of other women, set forth an agenda to lead to greater political, media.
My guest tonight is Margaret Sloan.
And policy representation of Black women's issues.
But at the same time, the National Black Feminist Organization is being critiqued by other African Americans, saying that, wait a minute, what about working class women and the struggles that they're facing? But then we also have to deal with sexual identity and the oppression that queer Black women will be facing.
Out of this discourse, the Combahee River Collective was formed.
The Combahee River Collective is saying that we have to acknowledge the various sexual identities within the African American community. And they are drawing their inspiration through name and deed from the Combahee River Raid.
And they named it after the Combahee River because this was the place where Harriet Tubman helped free 700 African Americans during the Civil War.
The Boston-based collective mounted political campaigns across Massachusetts, addressing police brutality, pushing to desegregate public schools, and fighting for justice for abused and slain Black women. Though the Combahee River Collective disbanded in the 1980s, their philosophy has endured, becoming part of the infrastructure of intersectional Black feminism today.
This notion of intersectionality was later coined by Kimberly Crenshaw, but exercised amongst the Combahee River Collective in the 1970s.
Decades later, Black feminists are still fighting. Drawing upon the tenets of the Combahee River Collective, campaigns from the Women's March to the contemporary movement for Black lives have flowered and thrived.
Alrighty, y'all. That's our Black history lesson for today. Remember now, with Black history, you're going to either learn it or you're going to repeat it, okay? And we don't want to have to repeat some of the history that we have, okay? Not at all. All right, let me go over some real quickly before we get out of here, because our time is rolling short here. I'm just going to run you a little bit about some public service announcements here, okay? let me emphasize one thing that's going on this weekend, y'all, that you might want to put your teeth into, and they got a Black Kings event going on Sunday that Gifted Hand Enterprise presenting. They present a Black King Crown Award starting at 5 o'clock. You're going to be at the Grotto Hall on this Sunday. They're honoring Black excellence, and even what they call an Eden of Black excellence, where they're honoring local people, and they're going to give away the People Choice Award and Dignity and Pride Award and stuff like that, and Men of Valor. But this is going to be the 2026 Black King Crown Award that they're going to have this weekend. Okay, so put that on your calendar. Also, I need you to spread the word about this program here, the Emmanuel Kids program. They're recruiting for Ivy League students to participate in a training, career training program, career training and mentoring program. Okay, so give Dr. J.O. Gaston a call. Okay, Dr. J.O. Gaston a call at, excuse me, give Dr. J.O. Gaston a call at 850-698-0571. You definitely want to help build some future leaders so we can shape their futures here. The Emmanuel Kids program is something that do every year, and if you want your children to participate in this program, again, let me have you call J.O. Gaston. J.O. Gaston. The number is again 850-698-0571. Okay, I'm going to repeat that number. 850-698-0571 to get your children involved in some curriculum and some positive stuff that we to get there to absolutely shape their to shape their future. Okay, and tell them you heard it right here on WBQP TV. Again, the weekend is coming up, y'all. I want you to be safe this weekend. I want you to come back on Monday that we can have a good, safe story. We don't want to have a weekend like we had last weekend. We definitely don't want to do that. For the folks that having a birthday today, sometimes I forget to recognize the birthdays on here. I got Mr. Ellison Bennett calling back in. Mr. Bennett, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Vernon. Thank you so much. I know it's close time to get off there. Did the sheriff able to confirm whether the shooting in Montclair last night, did anybody get injured?
He didn't. He said an individual. Let me cut off one mic. Ellison, so I can hear you. Okay, but he did confirm that he said he didn't have time to have the details on it. He just got into the office. He understood that an individual was shot in his doorway. That was reported. But he said based on the preliminary finding that story didn't kind of line up with the facts that they found. So they found shell casing in the yard and so forth and so forth. So, okay. But that's under investigation as we speak.
It's not a homicide, is it?
He didn't say.
He didn't say at this point. Thank you, sir.
He just said shot. I would imagine had it been a homicide, he would probably mention that.
Okay, but we did have another shooting last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you much.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Ellison Bennett, Mr. Community. That's my community news reporter, y'all, and everything in the community. Ellison stays on top of everything. That's why he's on. He's on every Wednesday, and he let us know what's happening in the hood. Okay, that's what I call hood news. Okay, hood news. So we know what's happening. All right, y'all. Y'all play the lottery. I got to play the lottery so I can win and so I can please my side piece. But I know I ain't gonna win. But that's all right. But I'll play it anyway. Yeah, if y'all go to the casino, y'all be careful out there driving. And particularly if you're going up to Atmo, y'all, this is particularly important. You know, that two-way narrow road up there has had a lot of incident. I'll be glad since that they know that it's a major thoroughway to the casino. I think you would think that somebody would say, okay, now it's time to full lane that highway so we can have a beeline up there, because I don't think the casino is going away. So, but that's a whole bigger story. But if you are going to the casino, be careful. If you're going over to Mississippi to the casinos over there, be careful. Whatever you do, but go to church, okay? When you go to church Sunday, okay, you tell pastor that I sent you to church. Just tell us that Vernon this morning says I needs to be in church this morning, okay? And y'all pray for everybody and pray for the world and everything. So if we stay in the country, the creek doesn't rise, I see you on Monday, y'all, on Morning with Vernon. We on 5 days a week, and we plan to be on again next week, 5 days a week. And so, but we want you to tell everybody that we're on, share the story, share the wealth, if they're interested in finding out what's happening in and around their world and in and around the Black world. Love you. I'll see you next week. So y'all have a great weekend, okay?
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Good morning, everyone, and